Hey Craftaholics, I'm Peggy. Welcome to the studio. I am starting my first project for the No Paper Left Behind Challenge for August, and it is going to be a project planner. It is something that we all need to keep track of what we want to make, what we are making, what we have made, what we were giving it to, the cost, blah, blah, all that stuff. Anyway, we are going to begin first with the cover. And for the cover, let me get this out. Right now is a really good time to get notebooks because it's back to school. And you can get an array of colors. But what we're going to do is you will specifically need a Dollar Tree binder because we are going to tear it apart and rebuild it. And other binders, I have tried different brands and I cannot get down to the chipboard. Everything is like adhered down and stuff. So specifically a Dollar Tree notebook, and I buy a color that I really don't want, or even if it has a mark on it, it doesn't matter because it's going to be taken apart anyway. And to cover it, I have this pink cardstock, and then for my spine, I am using some of the papers from my collection to make a really pretty spine on it. So let's get started first with the notebook. And I already took one end apart so I wouldn't be doing too much fiddling on camera. But their notebooks, especially the small ones, are really easy to get apart. But there is, on every notebook, let me see if I can hold it up so you can see it. There is a little rivet right in here that holds the actual ring system down. And we need to take that rivet out so we can get this all apart. And like I said, on other brands, it's a challenge. This still isn't easy. Like I said, there's smaller notebooks are easier. All I'm doing is kind of squeezing it kind of into the middle, kind of smushing it in. Just kind of mushing it. Let's see if that works. And if you squish it in the middle enough, let me see. Okay, a little bit more. Like I said, this one is a little more difficult than the smaller one. But, and with my hands, it's not easy. But there we go. And then what you do, it pops right off. And you pull the rivet out of the other side. Oh, there we go. Now I'm in camera. Just pull that out, and it's garbage. Okay, so now we have our rings. We'll put those up here. And you're going to need some of just the basic brads like we used to get when we were back in school. At least I used to get when I was back in school. Just these kind, with like the 1/4-inch head, I think, is on them. That's all you're going to need to put that back in. All right, now, I said these are really, really easy to get off. You just need a pair of scissors. And the first thing I like to do is I cut right down this way and cut the spine off. Okay. Let me do that piece last. Okay, then what you need to do is take an end and just cut across. Do not cut into your chipboard. We're just cutting across to open it up. But cut right along the chipboard. Like that. It's a little fiddly, but it's alright. And see, it's not even attached. And like I said, other brands, they are. So, and this one, I think, this looks like almost just like cardboard. Let's see. And then you can just pull it out. And this is, it's really a flimsy chipboard, but it's fine for what we're going to be using it for. So there's 1/2. You can keep this if you want to use it for something else. I don't really think I'm going to have a need for it, especially the orange. But let's do the other side. And it doesn't matter where you cut down, top, bottom, it doesn't matter. The main thing you're doing is just opening that up so you can get in there. Oops. It's falling apart in my hand. not always, I mean, sometimes you have to fiddle with it because it does get stuck. But like I said, they don't glue any of theirs down. So I tried doing, I don't even know where the notebook came from, one that I'd had for a long time. And the cover was like plastered to the chipboard. So yeah. And an Avery one, I can't even get the rivets to come out. They're just made too well. They're not made for crafting with. Unless you just decorate it. Okay, in our spine piece. Usually you can get this to just kind of slide out. But like I said, this is the first full-size notebook I've ever done. So it's going to be a little bit different. Okay, so I have my spine piece and I have my covers. And I'm going to use, and I just keep moving things around, this pink to cover them with. And the problem with this is 12 by 12, and I don't have a whole lot of room on the top or the bottom to work with. So it's going to be a little difficult, but I think we can do it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually tape it down, tape the chipboard down to the paper, or paper to the chipboard, however you want to look at it. Let me get, sorry guys, my mouth is really dry today, as you can hear it in my throat. Okay, I am going to just take some 1-inch tape that has not been used before, so it is still closed. Let's see, that little piece off. Sorry about the arm. I'm just going to go, and don't worry about the rounded corners. They'll be fine. I'm just going to go around. You guys can't even see what I'm doing, can you? There we go. Go around my chipboard. So we're making a real notebook. We're actually sticking it all down. So there you go. But like I said, you can, if you don't want to recover a notebook, it's still a great time to go buy them because there are all the really cool colors out for school. You don't have to recover it like this. You can just take one, if you have a good one like an Avery or something like that that you want to use. You can simply just mat it with paper, or you can completely cover it with paper. You won't be able to get the rivets out. So like I said, something like that would be better, like just to mat it on. But the choice is yours. I just find this fun. And I think later this year we're going to try to make a journal with one of the smaller ones this way. I think that'd be fun. Okay. I'm just going to put a few strips. Oh, sorry. The camera's like right by my head. Just going to put a few strips down the middle here. And maybe one more. There we go. Now I've got stuff everywhere from crafting this weekend, personal crafting this weekend, and trying to clean some stuff up. Let's see. I just want to make sure that the tape is down really good. Okay. I need a pokey tool. Here it is. Just going to remove the strips. Oops. And on the rounded corner, you can just fold the tape up a little bit so it's not hanging off. Okay. This is like the long, boring process. Okay. If you want to, you can add some glue stick to it. To get some, I don't really think you'll need wiggle room for this, honestly. So we're just going to hold it over, kind of center it up. There we go. Just lay it down. turn it over. I bought this at Tuesday morning. It's like one of these big old bone folders. And it's really good for something like this to make sure something is adhered down. Okay. I also bought a brayer, but I can't find it. I haven't found it since I bought it. Okay, I am going to, just like normal, I'm just going to kind of work the sides up and over, like the way we cover an album. I know I'm doing it a little different because I'm covering each piece separate, except for the spine. I just figured with it not fitting lengthwise, it's probably easier to deal with this way than like the whole entire width. But I'm still going to cut out my corners a little bit. Because regardless of, and I should have put my tape on first, but regardless of the size, we still need to get, there's still going to be a little bit of paper in that corner, so just a little bit. Okay. Make sure these are all nice and okay. Alrighty. Let's see, I'm still going to use the 1 inch all the way around, even though there's only a little bit here, because I'm going to be covering the middle too. So I'm just going to put another layer of 1 inch around. That one a little long. Okay, let's see. So did everybody have a good weekend? It is Monday morning. What day? I think it's the 10th. Yep, 10th today. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Spend it with family or friends. Me, my husband, and I spent time together cleaning out our pantry. So, at least we were together. But it is still not completely done. But hey, you know. And my paper just decided to stick to that tape before I'm ready for it. Just going to gently peel it off there. There we go. No harm, no foul. Let me get that piece. There we go. But so I still have some canned goods like sitting on my dining room table, but no big deal. I will hopefully get it finished today. But it was, oh God, it was a mess. I don't even want to go there, but it was, we'll just say it was a mess. But it's amazing how much stuff that you find that you bought and forgot about when you clean out like a pantry or a refrigerator. It's just funny. But hopefully won't have to do that for a while. Let's see. They want to glue the short edges down first. I just think it would be easier. Pull that tape over just a little bit. Okay. I'm just kind of pulling it over and just wrapping it onto that tape. Make sure that's down really well. Go to the other side. And I'll get the ends that aren't, you know, where this is covering in just a minute. Just make sure that's over nice. Okay. And let me get that down. And I'm just pulling up just a little bit so I can get the rest of these edges down, the short edges. Then just like usual, I'm going to just take it and just fold the corner in just a little bit, just so there's no pokey corners like usual. it's really the same process, and then just pull. I'm just going to pull and press. It's the same process as like making an album cover. It's essentially what we're doing. So it's pretty, like I said, it's pretty simple. Just watch when you have exposed tape because everything will stick to it. And this, I'm not really rounding the corner, but it may end up rounded anyway. I'm just not too worried about that. Okay. Again, I'm going to pull up in the middle. Just press it all down. Okay. There we go. Nicely covered. And I am going to pause this while I go and I do the other one, and I will be right back. Oh, as soon as I can. There we go. Okay, hold on, guys. I will be right back. Okay, so I am back, and I have both of my covers have my pink paper, just the outer covering on it. Okay, and I also put tape on the spine. Okay, what we're going to do now, because I've never done one this large, it's kind of thrown me off just a little bit. We need to put our cover paper on the inside part of our spine first. I know this sounds wacky, but I don't want the prongs of I don't want the prongs of these hanging on the outside. So, like I said, I've got tape on both sides. So I am just, my brain is not working. And I can feel where the holes are. So I'm just going to use a pokey tool and go through those. Hopefully kind of centered in the middle. Yep. Brads, that was the word I couldn't think of. Good Lord. All right, then I am going to take off one piece of the tape. And I'm going to center it. These, I cut these at 3¼ inches. And it's still just the 12 inches long. Let's see. Try to kind of center it as the best you can. Okay. Because I know this is backwards, but it's the best way I can figure out to do this. Now I'm going to go through the holes one more time. There we go. And remember, this is the inside. So I'm going to take 2 of my brads. Well, yeah, it really, really helps if you have your rings. I'm going to take my rings, and I'm just going to line the holes up the best I can. Come on, guys, stop getting stuck there. And I'm just going to take my brad, put it through my rings, through the chipboard. And what I'm going to do, pull this up first. I just pull the end of my tape up, and I am putting my brads down. And I'm pushing them pretty tight, so there's really no wiggle. Okay. Then when we're ready to put this down, I'll put another piece of tape over top of it just to make it a little bit stronger. And then the other end, I couldn't find my silver brads, so the gold ones have to do. Find the other end, find the hole, which is back here. Come on, guy. I also hurt my finger while I was doing everything, so it's kind of hard to paper craft with a Band-Aid. But, okay, there's the other one. Like I said, on this side, I'm going to pull up the... It's a little hard to work with since it is rings, but I'm hoping this works. Okay. Let's see. Oh, come on. And again, pressing really firm from both sides to get that down. Okay, now our rings are back on the chipboard. Like I said, hopefully this is going to work. This is a challenge for me. Okay, move this aside. I think what we will do, I'm using my mat as a ruler. I'm going to put tape down this inside of each of my covers. First, I'm using my 1-inch tape to adhere it to the covering for the spine. Sorry guys, I know I keep going out of frame, and I even have a marker here so I know where I should be, but apparently I'm not paying very good attention to it. And it's not perfect, it kind of moved there, but it's all right. Scissors. I'll be able to straighten that out. With the bone folder, no big deal. I know, out of frame, out of frame. I'm trying to kind of hold this up so it doesn't stick really bad to the tabletop here. Okay. I'm going to lay this one down. And my paper, I don't know if it's directional or not. Not really. So that's good. But be sure to check your paper. If it's directional, be sure you have it going in the right direction. Otherwise, big disaster. Okay, I'm going to, like I said, line this up. I cut this at 3 1/4 inches, like I said, just to give me a little extra space to work with here. All right, let me see. Now this is a time, if you want to, you can actually use some glue stick. Just to give you a little bit of wiggle room while you're kind of centering that on. Now what we want to do is see where I have it laid out, the inch in the middle, that represents the chipboard spine. I'm going to give it over about that 1/4 inch mark, just because it's a notebook. I want to give it a little more room. You know, where's my tape? I'm gonna tape this down because it keeps wiggling. This is just painter's tape from Walmart. But whenever you use tape with like this with the papers that you're going to be removing, I usually stick it to my skin. If it's on the side you're going to be seeing, I will like stick it to my skin a little bit to get some sticky off, just to make sure you don't rip your paper, because it has happened to me a few times where like painter's tape is supposed to be really, you know, easy to come off, but it really sticks. So like I said, I'm going to go to the 1/4 inch mark on my table grid here. And I can also kind of line up by the pattern as well. So that should be good. Whoop, out of the way. That should be good there. And then we're going to do the other side the exact same way. Put that over there. Little glue stick. Urgh. Okay, already had the cap off. That was really gross. A little bit there. And same thing, I'm giving it like 1/4 of an inch. And make sure that you get the top and bottom even of your notebook. I don't think my sides are actually the same height, are they? No, this side's actually a little bit longer. So, get down a little bit there. Hopefully this will work. If not, we'll make it work, right? Because we're crafters and that's what we do. We force things to happen. No, I'm kidding. Kind of. Okay, no. Okay, let's see. Now I'm going to take the tape off the back of my spine. And now you're not even going to see those on the other side, which is awesome. I am going to, here we go, take just a little piece of tape and put it on each end, just so it covers up the end, you know, the prongs of the brad. And so we get some glue there as well, or tape there as well. Okay, let me get those little pieces off. The first time I tried to make one of these, I did it completely wrong. I actually, it was for myself, but I had matted all the papers and everything, and then I put the spine on, and I was like, great, my prongs are on the outside. This is awesome. All I'm going to do with this is I'm going to line the papers up edge to edge because they're both the same width and the same length. So it's the easiest way to do this. And then I'm just going to push my spine down. Okay. And what I should have done, we're going to put some, I'm going to put glue under there now, but I should have put some tape here. Be sure when you're doing this to put tape here on this edge so you can adhere that down. I do not know what I was thinking. But I'm also going to use Fabri-Tac because when it dries, it's a little flexible. So, just going to Fabri-Tac. Like I said, be sure to put tape. I didn't even think of that. It's one of those days, peeps. One of those days. It's one of my favorite sayings is today's been one hell of a week. And it is only 8 o'clock, and that's pretty bad. So, 8 a.m., I should say. Okay. What I'm going to do, we're just going to do the cover today, and we'll come back and do the rest in another video. Okay. Yeah, I did this backwards, people, so it's all right, though. Let's see. What I'm going to do... Alright guys, I really flubbed this, so learn from my mistake. I forgot to pull over my piece here, my spine piece from the outside. I forgot to pull it over before I put the other spine down. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the top part of the spine off, the covering. Sadly, I can't even start this video over again because that's the only piece of paper I have. And I said I'm not using my digitals, so not for this. There's always a way to fix things if you make a boo-boo. That's That's the one thing to remember. You can always fix a boo-boo. Okay. We glue these ends down here. It's going to be a little backwards on the inside, but it doesn't matter. Let me get some tape that will fit in there. Yeah, I got some 1/4-inch tape. I'm going to fold this up and over so that it will go nicely. Yeah. I've got just some 1/4-inch tape that I'm going to put here. Just to hold that piece down. Then we're just going to fold this up and over, tape that piece down. Okay, and then the next side, painter's tape off. We'll be able to fix that with some trim or something. So never fear if you have made the same mistake I did. It can be fixed. So I'm just cutting off the inside piece. It's easier than the other way around. Okay. And also with covers that are uneven, it's a little bit rough right there. Okay. This part is not going to roll over as easy just because of the different lengths of my covers, which I did not realize that. Yeah, get off my Band-Aid. Okay. Then we're going to roll this one up and over. And don't worry about a lot of this because we are still going to put the cover paper on it, so it should be fine. It's just a few, you know, I'm not going to use the Fabri-Tac there. I am going to use my art glitter glue. Or is this? No, this is the reptile glue. Because it has the nice fine point, I can squirt it like right in where I need it to go. There we go. See, you go from boo-boo to not too bad. Okay. And then just like with an album, I'm going to find that groove. Although it's a little more difficult because of having the rings. But you're going to find that groove and you're going to start to fold up your cover. Get that crease going. God, I'm throwing stuff everywhere. Good Lord. This is not my day. And do it carefully so you don't go through your paper. All right, and then this is what the outside would look like. Now, I know you can see some tape, but we are going to put some trim there too, so it's not going to look like that forever. Okay. And I think, since the holes were closer to this end, I think we're going to make that the top. Right. I didn't realize in the chipboard that the holes weren't even either, but like I said, no big deal, right? It's just paper. Now this we will need to measure. to cut so it covers properly. Let's see. We are going to need a piece that is, now your measurements will be different because your covers will probably be different sizes. So mine actually measures at just about 11 and a half. So I'm going to cut mine at like 11 and a quarter. Between 11 and a quarter, 11 and 3/8 long. And where's my bend? My bend is right there. We'll go about 9 and 5/8. So 11 and a quarter, I'm going 11 and a quarter by 9 and 5/8. But like I said, yours will be different because your notebook covers will more than likely, they'll be close, but they'll more than likely be a little different. So I pull out the trusty paper drawer. So 11 and a quarter, right? Here's my first cut. And I do not remember the next measurement. Oh, you can pay. That was 9 and 5/8. Okay. 9 5/8. So that's the eighth right after a half of an inch. And I'm just going to cut them both the same. 11 and a quarter. By 9 and 5/8. Okay. Get my little scraps. I always keep my scraps like this. I have like a bin with different drawers. I have like different kinds of paper in them, but they always come in handy at some point. So if you ever, I advise to do that. Just save your scraps all the time. Okay, bring this back. Like I said, I'm going to make that the top. All right, for this, I am going to kind of dry fit and make sure it works. Well, if you do two at once, it doesn't work that well. There we go. I'm just going to take a dry fit on this one and make sure that I have all my measurements right, and they are. And I will be putting some trim in there to cover all this up because I know it does not look very nice. Okay, I'm going to take my 1-inch tape again, or you can use glue too if you want. That's always an option. Just these ends need some tape. And then this one, not quite to the end, because remember it's just matting it, so you're leaving a little bit of a space around the outside. Tape was crooked when I could fix it. All right, there's one side. Let's get just burnishing it down really well. So we've already got this. I mean, if you wanted to, you could probably take and put just a little strip of tape, and maybe we will, just to make sure that it holds. Fine, and mine again is going to go just and it is sitting right on that other tape a little bit, and that's fine. It doesn't matter. We're just making sure that our paper is going to adhere. What I'm going to do in the middle, instead of using tape in the middle, I'm just going to put some Fabri-Tac in there, just to make sure it holds down really, really well. Get them out of frame. Jeez. I'm trying to redo my table so that I can have more of a filming area. I'm hoping I can get that done soon because I needs it. I want to be able to film better videos for you guys, so I'm just putting a bit of Fabri-Tac, not a whole lot. Just a little bit. And be sure to not set your paper down on the notebook, because it will stick. Good Lord. This is like a circus this morning, isn't it? Go. Gosh. All right. I think I'm ready for this now. I'm just going to line it up here. Okay. There's one side. Let's do this next side here. And our binder portion is almost done. So this will give me a good time while I'm doing this to say, if you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you like quirky videos like this, although I'm trying to not be so quirky, but it's not working, please subscribe to my channel. And when that notification bell comes up, you can click on it, and when the drop-down menu comes down, if you would like to see every bit of craziness that I put up on this channel, click on all. You know you want to, because it's just fun. And please like this video, because it lets YouTube know that people actually want to watch what I'm doing, and it will help my channel grow. So that's all I have to say about that, as Forrest Gump would say. But I'm glad to have you along. And also, I do have a Facebook group. It is Mrs. Izzy's Crafty Hangout. So I would love to have you come over and join us there. We're just getting to know each other right now. And hopefully we'll be doing some swaps and some other things. But you can share projects you've created that I've done, or you can share your own projects. I just want to get to know you guys. I think it'll be fun. So pop on over there and join us. And get on my crazy ride to craft them. How's that? Does that sound weird? I hope it does, because I was trying to make it sound weird. But anyway. Let me get my Fabri-Tac. And when I do this, I'm just shaking the glue down to the end of the bottle. It is a thicker glue, so it takes a little while to make its way down. Like I said, I'm not coating the whole thing. I'm just enough to get that middle. And then I'm going to line this piece up. There we go. Like I said, we will fix this part. No big deal. All right. So inside and our outside. So again, we will fix up a little bit better when we're done with getting to the end of the whole project. But I'm going to call it quits for this one, and I will see you in the next one and get this project done. Bye, guys.